Max? Max? Max! Max. Max is the word for this week. Hi everybody, sorry it's taking me so long to get this one out. 10 days ago, the FAA announced the airworthiness directive that allows you to bring the Boeing 737 MAX back to service. 20 months since the accident, 20 months since the grounding, finally have the AD to get it back in service. Important thing to note though, it's not going to happen right away. Got to get the airplanes out of storage, got to update the software, got to train the pilots, and then got to reintroduce them in the schedule. So I think the one thing that bothers me the most is all the countries that were involved in the collaborative work to bring the airplane back now want to go back and take a look at it themselves. Canada included, who's going to throw some more procedures in, more pilot training. Then we have Brazil's going to do something similar. EASA is going to get around to this to get their own AD out in December. And then right after the AD came out, Eurocontrol identifies that they've approved $4 billion worth of tariffs on U.S. goods because of subsidies to Boeing. The politics of this is just staggering, but we can expect to see the MAX back into service pretty soon. MAX, yeah, still on the MAX. 2 hours after the AD was released, the Senate released a bill on modifying the framework on how the FAA does certification. Doesn't really upend anything, but it does add some things like an independent panel for when an aircraft changes a lot, more focus on human factors, and a different way to do how they put innovative things into the cycle, which will probably help with eVTOL certifications, because there's really no plan for any of that. So the House did this before the announcement, about 11-12 days ago. They put out their own bill, but now that bill can come together and move forward and the FAA can have something to do. What's important about this is this usually has some kind of trickle down. So the rest of the agency will feel the effects of a big bill like this that's important, relates to safety. So I think we can see independence on some innovations, more focus on human factors, all gives clarity to some of the things that Next Gen would actually do, or Blue Skies Initiative would actually take a look at, and just helps us out. The race is on, not a MAX issue. The FAA handles about 16.5 million flights a year in the United States. Sounds good. More than twice as many drone flights occurred last year. This is 2019. Occurred last year, according to DJI, who tracks their own airplanes, of course. It is an incredible number to have twice as many drones flying as manned aircraft. I mean, I look around, I don't see either one. So, okay, maybe manned aircraft, maybe not so much, but there's nothing preventing anybody from flying drones. Matter of fact, they've been more popular than ever trying to move medical supplies around. But it does raise the question about why don't we see them if there's so many, and it's because the average flight time is 7.1 minutes. Okay, so they're up, they're down. Just changes the perspective when we talk about services that would relate to air traffic management or UAS traffic management. We have to put it in context of what we understand, and I don't think ATM anywhere near understands the endurance of these aircraft, how short their flights are, what they're trying to accomplish. It's all different. And so this sort of the segregation thing that we're going down might be okay because they're just so different. And in order to have true integration, we're going to have to think of something new, and we haven't got there yet. Hey, look, I have not seen the data for Thanksgiving travel yet, but as of last weekend, we hit a new milestone coming into the Thanksgiving week of over 1 million passengers screened again. The last time that happened was October 18th. The time before that was pre-St. Patrick's Day of 2020. So very big deal going into Thanksgiving that people are traveling, even though the news has been telling us to stay home. Also, there were 3 other days that were over 900,000 passengers. One of the biggest weeks we've had in travel in a very long time. So I expect to see the numbers for Thanksgiving next week, and hopefully they'll be up because I'm still bullish on the recovery. Now this one, Rick's probably going to be pissed, and he'll have a lot of comments. Put him in the comments below. But rockets are very cool. Rocket launches are very cool. SpaceX launched a week ago Sunday the first operational mission to the International Space Station. 4 astronauts went up with a bunch of gear. They made it safely. They'll be there for a while. Awesome. But just a few months ago, didn't we see 2 astronauts do the same thing? So I'm curious on what the difference was, because this was the first actual operational flight. But a few months ago it looked the same. Felt the same. Countdown looked the same. But here's the difference. The paperwork. So 3 months ago, paperwork wasn't done. So the paperwork was done on this one. Therefore, the FAA actually certified this flight to go, and it didn't certify the last flight to go. Therefore, the last flight was a beta test, and this flight was the real flight. So Administrator Dixon showed up, to watch the flight and all that, because hey, paperwork's important. We all know that. And pushing papers is a pretty good paying job. I like it. Hey, the tax man cometh. For those of you that were early adopters in registering your drone 3 years ago, which was January of 2018 when the rule came out, you had to send in your $5. And there's other stories about where that $5 goes and whether you can get it back. But if you paid your $5, well, your time is up, and January of 2021, you have to pay another $5 to re-register your drone, or you'll be in violation of the regulation. So get your $5 out. A satellite ADS-B sounds pretty cool. Aviation has been pushing the FAA to go ADS-B from the sky for a long time. Very little interest. Part of that's because they have a huge investment in the ground infrastructure. But Aviation has finally inked a deal with the FAA to use their information for just about everything but surveillance broadcast services. So no separation, no ATC kind of stuff, but for data, search and rescue, and so all the ancillary things around it, yep, that'll be okay. But for the real stuff, you've got to wait. Vinny Capizzuto is still convinced that you can use it for surveillance, and it'll be good. And he's working on that, and he's really a super engineer. So I have faith that it'll happen. And now they've got their nose under the tent, so maybe it'll happen pretty soon. Next stop, Alaska. So if you fly anywhere to Asia or come back, you kind of have to take that super long trip to get over there. But now you can actually fly through Anchorage or Fairbanks as a person. You can always do it for cargo, but as a person, get there and then clear through, and same carrier, whether it's a foreign carrier or a U.S. carrier, clear through to Asia or Asia back, and clear customs there and everything else without, going through a tremendous amount of hassle. So what would be really cool is that this could open up the opportunity for what they do in Iceland, where you can get off the airplane for 2 or 3 days, for a week, and not pay an additional charge for your flight, and actually do something while you're there, go to a national park, get back on the airplane, head over to Tokyo, and then come back. All in the support of tourism for Alaska. And of course, the state of Alaska applied to DOT while no one is actually flying. So, I guess it was pretty hard to deny that approval. So they got the approval, and the next step is we're going to Fairbanks, or you're going to Fairbanks, because I'm not going to Fairbanks. It is way too cold. I trust everybody had a great Thanksgiving. Stay safe, and I will talk to you soon. Likes and comments down below, and I will see you next time.